So hello and welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to focus on understanding addition using base 10 blocks. On the screen, we have the representations of the blocks that we are going to use. And the green block is known as a cube, which is equivalent to 1,000 single units. And these represent thousands place value. The orange block is known as a flat, which is equivalent to 100 single units. And these represent hundreds place value. The blue block is known as a long, which is equivalent to 10 single units. And this represents tens place value. And our smallest block, the yellow block, is the single unit, which is equivalent to 1, and this represents one's place value. So we are going to, in order to make our representations a little bit easier, I'm going to adopt this small representation to represent a cube and a little square to represent flat, a 1 or a tally mark like that one to represent the long, and a small dot to represent the single unit. That is just to make my drawing a little bit easier when showing the addition of the following question using these representations. So we have the following question. We are told to solve the following addition problem using base block manipulatives. So the first thing we are supposed to do is to represent the numbers given using the sketches of these representations. And so we have 268, that is equivalent to saying 2 hundreds, 6 tens, 8 ones, and we are adding that to 100, 4 tens, 3 ones. So for the ones, we are going to use the single unit. So we are going to use the little dot for ones. For the tens, we are going to use the tally mark. For the hundreds, we are going to use the small square. So we are supposed now to move ahead and show the sketches of these, the representations of these two numbers that are being added. So we have 2 flats, 6 longs, we have 8 ones, and we are adding to 1 flat, 4 longs, and 3 single units. So we can go ahead and start putting these representations together. In other words, combining them. You know, addition is simply combining. So when we have 8 ones and we are adding to 3 ones, so that one will give us 11 ones. So for base 10, especially our numbers which are in base 10, it means that we can have repeated groupings of tens for every place value. And what happens is that when we are adding, we usually have like 8 plus 3, that is an 11. We write a 1 and we carry 1. So this method will help us to know what is that 1 that we usually carry. What is that 1 equivalent to? So in this case, with 8 ones plus 3 ones, that gives us 11 ones. And out of 11 ones, we can make a group. 10 ones can become a 1 long. So in this case, you make a group of 10 ones, and that one can be traded as 1 long. So what remains is just a small single unit, and because it cannot make another group of 10, we just bring it down here. That will be part of our answer for the ones place value. And then we go to the tens place value, which is represented by longs, and we are going to do the same. So in this case, we are going to, remember we had 6 tens and we were adding to 4 tens, giving us 10 tens, but there's a 1 that has been created from the lower place values, from ones, and that gives us now a total of 11 tens. So out of 11 tens, we can have a group of 10 tens. A group of 10 tens, we can group that together. Ten tens can be traded as a 100. Traded as 1 flat for hundreds. And what remains now at the tens place value is simply a 1 long. So here we have 1 unit, here we have 1 long, and therefore now for the hundreds place value, which is being represented with flat sketches, that one will be a total of 4 flats. And because they did not make 10 flats to be traded as a 1 in the next higher place value, we're just going to leave them like that. And what we are going to find is that we end up, after combining, regrouping and combining and trading, we end up with 4 flats, 1 long, 1 unit. And that actually gives us the answer to this question. 268 plus 143 is simply 4 hundreds, 1, 10, and 1 unit, 1. So 411, that is our final answer. So I hope you have been able to learn something out of this video, and we are going to do a similar thing in the next video and see how we can subtract using base block manipulatives. See you in our next lesson.